Oh, Gandalf 1, barely remember being rescued. How did you manage to find us and make it through the rivers of lava? Frodo, my dear simple boy, it only took me like 5 minutes. We simply flew there on the giant eagles. What? Bugs Bunny could have simply walked into Mordor. He would have shown up at the gates of Mordor in a disguise and been like evil volcano inspection unit and flashed a fake ID badge to the confused orc. Love the implication here that the One Ring would have little to no effect on Bugs. Uverse is the guy she tells you not to worry about. Gollum developer is working on another Lord of the Rings game. The developer behind the disastrous The Lord of the Rings. Gollum has its next game lined up, and it is another Lord of the Rings game. We had one terrible game. Yes. What about the second terrible game? What do you do if you are on a date with this girl, but Aragorn, son of Arathorn, runs in and tells you the beacons are lit? Gondor calls for aid. Aragorn and Theoden just trying to survive at Helm's Deep. Legolas and Gimli having an orc-killing competition. The Lord of Ring. Gollum developers. Apologize for the game being very bad. Literally every reviewer. Your game is awful. Daedalic. He is out of line, but he is right. Never thought I would die fighting side by side with the great love of my life. What about side by side with just a friend? 5-year-old me on the first day of kindergarten. I am going on an adventure. 18-year-old me on the final day of high school. It is done. After the ring was destroyed. Gandalf joined another fellowship. Can you describe your favorite movie as boring as possible? A kid comes home from college, spends some time with his older neighbor, and visits a wedding. Disgruntled consumers face overly complex returns process for unwanted jewelry. If this is love, I do not want it. Why does it hurt so much? Because it was not in the books? Me watching the movies thinking Gandalf was gone for a few weeks, finding out he was gone for 17 years. The world of men will fall. Wait, is that the Rohirrim? I gotta see this. Exactly 23 years ago, when we set out to shoot the most beautiful movie in the world, Elrond is held as a standard for high elves across all fantasy media, which makes it somewhat funny that he is a half-elf. Me at 30, me at 29, the current year hiker. Ounces become pounds. That kid is 5 ounces too heavy. Chad Samwise Gamgee. I am walking into hell, and these cast iron pans are coming with me. Ball. Rolls into neighbor's front yard. 7-year-old kid. Goes to get ball. Neighbor. So you have chosen. Death. Peregrine Took. My lad. There is a task now to be done. I need you to climb up a huge cliff and light the beacon on fire. Wait. Are not you a servant of the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Arnor? Could not you just set it on fire with magic? No, Aragorn. Damn it, my bow is broken. Eowyn. The Fellowship gets on the topic of their ages one night, and Boromir comes to the dawning realization that he has absolutely no idea how old any of his companions are supposed to be at all. Boromir, pointing at the hobbits. I do not know how your ages work. Boromir, pointing at Legolas and Gimli. I definitely do not know how either of your ages work. Boromir, pointing at Aragorn. I thought I knew how your age worked, but apparently I was wrong. Boromir, pointing at Gandalf. I especially do not know how your age works, Gandalf. It does not. But carry on. Lord of the Rings coming after The Hobbit is so funny. Tolkien was just like, fuck, okay, I gotta think of something. Wait, I've got it. Bilbo's funny invisibility ring he won in a riddle contest is evil now. Like if the sticky hand you got from the dentist turned out to be possessed by the ghost of Mussolini. And it could make you levitate, but every time you did. A skinhead got a text with your home address. Why does every fantasy series gotta have a hot woman-only group like Sisterhood of Summer Spies, or Ladies of the Twilight Ball, or Women Warriors of the Waters, and never a himbo-only group like Blue Rose Brotherhood, or Man-Whores of the Realm, or Bastard Sword Bastards? Their name is the Fellowship of the Ring. And so Gandalf yelled at Pippin, calling him a fool of a took, and telling him to toss himself in next time. Did Gandalf apologize to Pippin for being so mean to him? Gandalf never got the chance. Pippin woke up every bad thing in Moria. Gandalf died because of Pippin. Pippin killed Gandalf. When Tom Bombadil put on the One Ring and felt a little tickle when it tried to control him. Movie fans, it is Saruman. Book fans, no. No, it is not. Admit it. What is one thing the movies did better than the books? What are some signs that a Tolkien fan has not actually read the books? Soldiers listening to Aragorn and Legolas speaking Elvish. Then I shall die as one of them. Raw cookie dough. CDC. Cast it into the oven. Bake it. Me. No. You know what? I am just gonna say it. Even though it does not happen in the book, the elves showing up at Helm's Deep was fucking epic. Therapist. Dull Pippin is not real, he cannot hurt you. Dull Pippin. C.S. Lewis admiring anything about Middle-earth. J.R. Tolkien on Narnia. My favorite part of the Silmarillion is when Sauron becomes a werewolf, fights a dog, loses, transforms into a vampire and fucks off. New alarming trend is women having their ears sewn into elvish tips. People are doing this and it is going to be getting more popular. You will never be a real elf. You have no grace of Iluvatar. You have no agelessness. You have no far-seeing eyes. You are a cruel mockery of Tolkien's perfection. The filth of Saruman is washing away. Watching theatrical cut. Watching EE. Gandalf. Get out of the Shire. Make for the village of Bree. Frodo in the films. Frodo in the books. Listens to heavy metal once. Imagine a king who fights his own battles. Wouldn't that be a sight? You carry the fate of us all. Little one. I am 50. Kid. Everyone at Aragorn's crowning. Frodo. Who was totally going to keep the ring. When you're getting roasted, but then you think of the perfect comeback hours later. Gandalf the White. Gandalf the Fool. When you invite her to watch Lord of the Rings but she starts getting naked. I do not think that we should so lightly abandon the outer defenses. Gandalf realizing Frodo has the one ring. The hobbits returning to the Shire in the movie. The hobbits returning to the Shire in the book. Ah, shit. Here we go again. Mr. Frodo. Denethor before the battle. I am a fighter and not a quitter. Denethor 1 millisecond after seeing Mordor's army. I am resigning. When you ask some American dude how tall he is and he starts talking about his feet, all right. Then, keep your secrets. When your 2,000-year-old daughter is finally getting married and moving out of the house. Captain America watching Lord of the Rings for the first time. One of the elves is Red Skull. Viggo Mortensen is now the same age Ian McKellen was in Return of the King. I have been alive 20 years and still have not found the right thing to say when someone knocks on the door of the public bathroom you are in. We do not want any more visitors. Well-wishers. Or distant relations. Peter. Have you any kind of idea what happens when a man falls into an open pit of lava? Because I do. See, they do not sink like one would in water. They hit the top like concrete because it is so dense. And then, on account of the intense heat, they pop into a white and red mist, just like a balloon. When you wake up with a sore throat that will not go away after you drink water. So it begins. Elven princes waiting to become king during times of peace. The 4 horsemen of pausing the movie and explaining pointless facts to some poor new viewer. Sci-fi fans. Star Wars is the best sci-fi. No, it is Star Trek. Fantasy fans. Lord of the Rings is the best. Agreed. The Ents are Americans. What? The World Wars were a big influence on Tolkien's writing, right? The Ents are a latently powerful, but fiercely isolationist society governed by a super inefficient democracy. And they only joined the fight after one of the 2 big bad guys unexpectedly attacked their territory. Treebeard taking over Isengard after Saruman's defeat is even kind of like America using West Germany as a proxy headquarters on the front of the Cold War. Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about?